A man is praying in a synagogue. And he notices that the man standing next to him is someone that he doesn't recognize. He's never seen him before. And this is very puzzling because this guy goes to the synagogue every week, and he knows everybody in the town, and he's consumed with curiosity. You don't come from here, do you? No, I'm a traveling salesman. I'm here till tomorrow morning. Why don't you come to dinner at my house tonight? Are you sure? That's very nice of you. You don't know. Yeah. Come to, I'm an hospitable guy, yeah. So anyway, he comes to dinner at his house, and they have a lovely meal and pleasant time, and the stranger is about to leave when the host says, okay, well, I hope you enjoyed it. That'll be $50. What do you mean $50? Well, $50 for the meal. But you invited me. I was your guest. Nevertheless, $50, that's how we do. What do you... Look, that's how we do things around here. I can't believe it. I can't believe that you charge $50. You don't believe me? Come to the rabbi, we'll ask him. So they go outside and they trudge through the streets, and the guy comes with his candle because it's 1863 or something like that. And he's puzzled to be woken up. And the stranger says, Rabbi, sorry to wake you up, but is it true that in this town, if you're invited, and you're a stranger and you're invited to somebody's house for dinner, he charges you $50? And the rabbi says, 50, sometimes 60. What did he charge? And the guy's astonished, right? So he goes, he pays the $50, he's quite angry, and he goes off. The next morning he's at the railway station waiting for his train, when all of a sudden he sees in the distance his host from last night waving at him and waving a $50 bill. And he comes up to him and he says, okay, here's your $50. Take it. So the stranger says, look, I just don't understand. I mean, you invite me to your house, then you charge me $50, you go through a big song and dance, and now you're giving me the money back? Yeah, of course, I wasn't going to charge you for the meal. I just wanted you to see what a schmuck our rabbi is. Well, I think that it's time for me to swing into the serious part, which is called ways that bad things can be good. I want to offer here a few remarks about the ancient theological problem called the problem of evil, which is the problem of how to reconcile the proposition that God is thoroughly good and entirely omnipotent with the apparent fact that there is evil in the world. If God were not supposed to be entirely good, or if, though indeed supposed to be entirely good, he were not supposed to be entirely powerful, then the existence of evil might not pose a challenge to the existence of God. But if God can make anything happen and prevent anything from happening, and he cannot want anything bad to happen, then how come so many bad things happen? That's the problem of evil. Now, there are lots of answers to this question in the theological tradition. Some of them are lousy, and others are just as bad. One answer is that she who poses the problem of evil mistakenly presupposes that we should be able to understand God's ways. Instead, this first answer goes on, we should celebrate the manifold, multiplex mystery about God, including the mystery of how a person so totally terrific can appear to promote, or at least tolerate, so many awful things. I've heard this answer, this look deep into it, wow, what a mystery answer. It's sometimes invoked by priests at funerals of people who've suffered particularly ghastly deaths. Priests who try to use those deaths to teach us how profoundly mysterious God's ways are. Now, a second, and maybe better answer, is that to expect the world not to have evil in it is to expect the world to be perfect, which is unreasonable, because it means you're expecting the world itself to be God. Since only God can be perfect, he had no choice but to create an imperfect world. You could say, well, why then did he bother to create anything at all? Maybe he would have been better off not existing, but maybe that's like looking a gift horse in the mouth. Anyway, another answer is that evil isn't anything real anyway. This is a great answer. It's just the absence of good. It isn't anything. just the absence of good, so there really isn't a problem. But that's like saying that you shouldn't go to the dentist just because you have a hole in your tooth, since a hole isn't anything. You know, the dentist says, you know, open wide. Oh, you're all right, there's nothing there. You know. I mean, there's nothing there, just a hole. How come it hurts? It's only a hole, you know. Well, another answer is that there is bound to be evil because it is a necessary consequence of God's greatest gift to human beings, namely free will. Having free will means being able to choose between good and evil. And so if there are beings around with free will, evil will sometimes happen. Oh my God, I'm shot. That madman shot me. I'm bleeding. Yeah, but he shot you with his free will. Isn't that great? You know.